Hey, I'm in Searcy, Arkansas right now. I need my nose straightened out. I just got it broken. It's, you can tell, it's sideways or whatever, but dude, the doctors are so expensive. They're like $2,000 or some shit just to set my nose. Can somebody in Searcy, by the grace of God, please set my nose back straight for free? If you can fix my nose for free in Searcy, Arkansas right now, send me a message, and I'll probably go to you instead of the doctor, because this is probably going to be like thousands of dollars, and it'll just have to be pulled and put back straight, So if y'all can help, let me know. Thank you.
What if I told you that one of the toughest fighters in the UFC world once begged his fans online to fix his broken nose because he couldn't afford to see a doctor? Flushed face, yes, this is no joke. Bryce Mitchell, one of the most unpredictable fighters in MMA, shocked the world when he showed up bleeding and broken after a brutal training session, but instead of going to a hospital, he took to social media asking his followers if anyone could fix it for free. Within hours, fans were divided, some calling him fearless, others calling him insane. And just when the chaos couldn't get any louder, Sean Strickland stepped into the drama, blasting the UFC for not helping fighters medically. But in a twist only the fight world could deliver, Strickland had to backtrack his own words, admitting that the UFC only covers medicals if a fighter has a booked bout. The entire MMA community went crazy. Memes, comments, and reactions flooded in. Yet, before the dust could settle, another storm erupted, this time involving Aljamain Sterling, who decided to publicly question heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall's toughness after his controversial eye poke against Cyril Gane at UFC 321.
Hey, I wanted to let y'all know I'm doing really good, and I wasn't in any pain at all, so that was really good. For whatever reason, it just didn't hurt the whole time. But I was worried because I didn't know exactly what to do, and I didn't know if it would ever come back straight again, and that was my main concern. But I'm totally healed, thank the Lord. God, thank you so much for healing me. And also, I apologize for looking like a cheapskate, because right when that happened, my brain went to primal survival instinct, and I started thinking, oh man, this is going to be expensive. This is going to be, what have I done here? This is going to be thousands of dollars to fix. And it's a shame that that's where my brain went to. But that was my main concern, and my buddy did fix it for free. But I'm going to try not to be a cheapskate next time. And, I've been to the doctor, and honestly have not had a problem paying with what I've been charged. One time I got a big piece of wood stuck in my hand, and it was only $600 to get it out. It was worth it. When I ripped my nuts in half, it was only $1,250. That was the best $1,250 I ever spent.
Sterling accused Tom of giving up too early, saying he exaggerated the injury. But fans didn't let that slide. Within hours, the same audience that once cheered Sterling tore into him, reminding everyone how he once won a title by disqualification after getting kneed by Petr Yan, a moment many still believe was overacted. The backlash was instant, brutal, and viral. Comments sections blew up with words like karma and hypocrite. But Aljamain didn't back down, he doubled down, posting another video defending his statement, saying Tom Aspinall should have pushed through the pain like a real warrior. What no one expected was what happened next. Tom Aspinall's father released an emotional update that changed everything. He revealed that Tom still couldn't see out of his right eye days after the fight. Doctors in Abu Dhabi said there was no permanent damage, but after flying back to England, his condition got worse. Imagine being at the top of the UFC mountain and suddenly not knowing if you'll ever see clearly again.
When Tommy got poked in the eye, the first thing that he said was, I cannot see. And we all know when you are fouled, you cannot say those words, otherwise the ref is inclined to stop the fight, because that is just the way the rules are in. Don't be mad at me. I'm not the guy who created the rules. I agree that Tommy was egregiously poked in the eye and it had some effect on him, and it wasn't cool. But nothing could be done at that point. So with that said, I think he should have handled the situation differently, and I think everybody will agree with that. You don't say those words. And of course, it's a natural reaction. You get poked, you go, oh, I can't see. Okay, but we're professionals. We've been here before. We've seen multiple fights like this. So we got to handle it as best as we could. And maybe that's what probably happened with Tommy. Who knows? Again, I don't know how badly hurt he was. I've never questioned Tommy's integrity. I've never questioned any fighter's integrity. But I do like to make fun of certain situations because I've gotten a very unfair share of flack from a lot of fans when I was illegally kneed in the head and somehow I was being a bitch. and all these other things under the sun, when none of you guys ever been blasted in the head with a knee that you did not see coming from anywhere.
Dana White, as usual, added gasoline to the fire with a sly comment suggesting maybe the injury wasn't that serious, hinting that Tom might have stopped too soon. Those words hit hard. Fans began arguing non-stop. Is Dana being insensitive? Or is he right that fighters today are softer than the legends of the past? Former double champ Henry Cejudo jumped in next, telling Aspinall not to take it personally, saying, "Even if Dana doubts you, prove him wrong with your comeback." And then, out of nowhere, Yuri Prochaska joined the conversation, saying if he had been in Tom's place, he would have fought blind just to finish the fight. That comment lit social media on fire.
Saw was a mechanism, a moment, a foul, right? That clearly can cause, even if it's not specifically a big, bad, severe injury, can clearly cause enough visual impairment that the fight should be stopped. And that's really what I think you have to focus on. Everybody seemed to be latching onto the fact that, even at the hospital afterwards, right, the doctor said, well, there's no serious damage. People saw that his eye visually looked okay. The doctor that was there covering the fight said the eye looks okay. And there's a big difference between something looking okay and something functioning okay. And when you get knuckles dug deep into your eyes, not just on one side, but on both sides, that is plenty force, that's plenty trauma to cause your eye to not function the right way, even though it might objectively look okay when the doctor is there at the ringside examining it. And so I think it was handled perfectly. I think, yeah, the eye visually looks okay, but in those circumstances, you have, number one, a foul, you have a mechanism of injury, and you have a fighter that's telling you symptoms. It's telling you they can't see. And if you can't see, you can't protect yourself. If you can't protect yourself, the fight can't continue. So it seemed very, very straightforward.
Fighters from around the world started weighing in, some calling Yuri a warrior, others saying that kind of mentality ruins careers. The MMA community became divided into two camps, those who value toughness at all costs, and those who believe fighter safety comes first. And right in the middle of it all stands Tom Aspinall, a champion, a family man, a fighter who just wanted to do his job. From the outside, people see a UFC star, but behind the scenes, there's a man struggling to heal, a man whose vision, literally and metaphorically, is on the line. While fans argue about who's tougher or who's fake, one truth remains: no one really knows what it's like inside that octagon when the lights are blinding, the crowd is roaring, and your body is begging you to quit. Maybe Bryce Mitchell fixing his own nose wasn't madness, maybe it was a symbol of what all these fighters live by: pain, pride, and survival. In a sport where one mistake can end everything, every fighter walks a thin line between glory and disaster.
But looking back at it now, like, what do you do with eye pokes? It happened to me, and it happens to everybody. And the Nevada State Athletic Commission, they need to step up and say, automatic 1 point, second time you do it, disqualifications, like no more.
Tom Aspinall's story isn't just about an eye poke, it's about how fragile greatness can be. Today it's vision, tomorrow it could be a career. But what keeps them going isn't just money or fame, it's legacy. Because in the world of MMA, pain is temporary, but reputation lasts forever. And that's why fans can't stop talking. Bryce Mitchell's wild DIY fix, Sterling's hypocrisy, Strickland's rants, Dana's shots, Yuri's warrior code, it's all part of one massive storm that defines modern MMA.
We got an appointment yesterday morning with a friend of ours who is one of the doctors from the UFC, and he got us a private appointment at Cheadle Hospital to see an eye specialist yesterday. He kind of basically did the same as the guy that we saw over there, said it's bad, it's not good, but his eye is a little bit more closed than it was. His right eye he still can't see anything, said it's just grey. And they tested him on words and he just couldn't see anything. His left eye, 50%, he went down about 4 letters and then just couldn't see the letters. So one's really blurry and one's still not working.
So the question remains, are we watching the evolution of fighters, or the extinction of true grit? Whatever your answer is, one thing's for sure, the next time Tom Aspinall steps into the octagon, the entire world will be watching, not just to see him fight, but to see if he can rise again from the moment that nearly blinded him forever.
What does it take to make an eye poke intentional, and is there even a way you could ever prove that?
Who the knows? Who gives a
It's an issue if the UFC want it to be an issue. There's nothing we can do about it, but this has highlighted at a high level in the sport that it's dangerous. If they want to do something about it, they should. If they care about people, they should. And it's back to everybody has opinions. Everybody needs money as well. It's about, I don't have to say what I say or do what I do to report back to shareholders to make money for a company. I do this because it's a sport. I want to do it with my son, I want to spend time with my kids. The other people who are doing it to report back to shareholders at the highest level because it's part of a company, and then they're doing it, most of the people online are doing it, the analysts, the ex-fighters, the YouTube makers are doing it because they make a video and that video makes them money, so it's about money. Then they're entitled to their opinion, but I don't read it and I don't care.